I'm sweating like a pig.
Yeah,
I drank way too fucking much at Heights last night, and I'm paying for it today.
Dang.
Yeah, you're pretty drunk.
Dang.
Can attest to that.
How long did you stay till?
7.
Oh, wow. That's a good time.
Yeah, good for you.
At one point, they were like, just handing us free beer. Like, we didn't even ask for it. And Steven was like, I didn't ask for this.
Yeah.
That is completely unlike. Were you guys there the last time, like 5 years ago for that gig?
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
You closed it down, right?
well, no, JF. And
Yeah, he was still there when we left, and he's like, screw you guys for leaving me.
Well, and the funny thing is, the last time we were just out back, like continually just walking out, like, yep, I have another beer. And the guy's like, okay. And I guess someone came out at one point. It's like, these guys are still here. And I guess the bartender's like, yeah. It's like, how much beer is he drinking? I don't know. Just been handing him beers. And then it was like, okay, you guys don't get any more beers.
Like
So I'm like, screw you guys. My friends at the wine store are pouring out front. Let's go to them.
It's Blood Feud with a sheep. Oh, Gina's texting me from IKEA being like, the hot dogs here are still $1.50. No inflation at IKEA yet.
Hooray!
I love those lost leaders.
There's a story online, and the president, of Costco very famously thinks like the $1.50 hot dog combo is the greatest thing they've ever done. And people keep coming up and like, we need to adjust the price. We need to adjust for inflation. And allegedly he says, if you raise the price of that hot dog, I will fucking kill you.
No, but like Costco actually, like, lost leaders are a thing where they're like, oh yeah, we're going to lose profit on this, but like,
it's to
it's
get
just
people.
one of those things, like, it's going to bring people back all the time.
It's 100% proven
they're gonna
marketing
buy
play.
so many things. Yeah.
People actively come just for the hot dog combo. My dad has taken me for lunch.
Just to
the Costco and he spent $5 for the three of us to have food because he shares his drink.
I thought he was like, he shares his hot dog like a baby bird, like he just like eats it and then.
Oh, you guys ever watch that video, like the world's?
I was thinking more like the Lady and the Tramp.
But with a hot dog.
Oh. Have you guys ever seen that video though?
What video?
World's fastest hot dog eater.
I don't want to.
Is it your mom?
It's your wife, actually.
Oh, she's not even here to defend her. She would beat the shit.
You know what? It's true. Now's the time of the show when we remind everyone whose voice is whose.
Hi, everyone. I'm Scott. I'm your gamekeeper and narrator for the session.
Hello, everyone. I am Stephen, and this is my voice, and I play Shun, a halfling monk who talks a little bit more like this.
Hi, I play... Wait, what's my name again? Hi, I'm Clark, and I play Lojan, not Lotion, Lojan, the half-elf cleric, who has a drinking issue.
Does he really?
He admits it!
Is that canonical now? Because that started as a riff.
It started as a rap. Hi, everyone. I am Rod. I play Alacordia, a human female rogue. She's lovely, and everyone loves her. It's true. Does
Ron Howard voice. It was.
Does anyone want to recap us?
There's a town to the west of here, about a couple of days' ride. And now some weird stuff's been going on in the town, and it is disrupting my plans. And I would like it resolved. And since you work for me now, you get to do it.
We never had any intention of framing you for murder. We intended to murder you. Normally we only murder the people that we bring to town. I dupe Reginald into bringing merchants in. Of course, from time to time the law comes sniffing around, so we had to hire the sheriff to cover our tracks and make it look like he was guilty. So many hand crossbows go. You and the sheriff open a single door, and there's a barrel. And the barrel's like lightly rumbling. There is the finest moonshine for 26 miles in any direction. He hoofs it, he throws it, and it lands right next to the alderman, because it's an nat 20, as the arrow comes at it, and he looks at you and he goes, ah, fuck.
Bye.
Like it just takes out like most of the mob. As the shockwave is approaching the sheriff, as he throws his arms up in front of him to shield himself from this blast that's coming right at him, the air almost shimmers and shifts into like a hard light shield in front of him.
Divine intervention.
It was like what was said in the curator's notes.
People kept going in to retrieve the artifact, and they would come out different, or wrong, or mad. Some say that this tomb is cursed, and that we shouldn't be disturbing it. We were able to take the relic, but at what cost? How many men died for this? And we've only just scratched the surface.
I think we need to find out who was on this dig and see how it changed them.
Maybe we can see if the camp is still there.
So, we're going to the Frisky Peaks then?
Let's go squeeze them Frisky Peaks. Those out? I'm working on it.
You can see the townspeople still, like, mopping up the alderman that's, like, blown to bits, and then there's just bottles being thrown around him.
I've got a push broom squish.
One guy with a big mustache and a push broom to match, and it's just like, everyone always exploding in there. So the sheriff and his two deputies are standing at the edge of town, waving goodbye. And in the background, you just hear a brick wall get punched through, and then you see their eyes panic and they run away.
Well, I think we've decided that we have to go to the dig site, right? We've kind of figured out. Actually, no, we haven't really figured out what was really happening, and he really wanted us to come to this town. Did we really figure that out? Did we figure that out last time? We kind of did, but we didn't.
My guess, he always told us there was a law enforcement problem. So my guess is that the Shire Reeve started to piece things. I think he wanted merchants to be killed. He probably wants a monopoly. Right?
So what you're telling me is, like, we fucked up again, and now he's going to expect even more from us?
That sounds about right, yes.
Great.
It's like
I see like your performance review, and he's sitting there just shuffling the papers.
This is 100% that meme with like the lady with like the math equations, like
Anyway, let me just look over your recent performance. Bad. Bad.
Yeah, so even though I think we did do the right thing, we did not do the right thing.
But it was known that Benjamin Sell for the slash. Yeah. Benjamin Sell, he had worked for this mysterious blackmailer.
Yeah.
He did, and then he didn't like what he was doing, and then he got maybe that was the Shire Reeve problem as well, is that he discovered who he was, and maybe we were there to either eliminate him or
You know, like, he could really communicate these jobs to us better, you know?
a poor upper management problem.
It's true. I think we should have that ready to fire at him when we go back. But yes, I mean, he knows so much about us. As part of, as much as I don't want to go back to Cuernos and deal with this blackmailer again, I'm worried he might send some bad folk after me. I'm worried that he might go after your village and that he might frame you for murder, Alacordia.
Well, we've already kind of...
We could take an extra day or two to go up to these Frisky Peaks and then just say that we got delayed on the way back.
Well,
I know the way up there pretty well, so, like, I could help us get there, probably, like, the most direct route.
Erect?
Direct.
Well, we had to kind of thought that we were going to go there because that's what the correspondent said that we had found what was the guy's name? Harbuckle.
Oh, the archaeologist's notebook.
Aldwin.
Aldwin Harbuckle's mansion.
Right. Yes. Right.
And remember, people had come out changed, and Cell had a celestial shield or something that had kind of protected him, like.
But he wasn't exposed to the shield. He was only exposed to us. It's almost like we're radioactive or something.
What's a radio?
It's true.
Before I said it, I was like, radiation would not have been discovered at this time. I'm sure.
It does not exist in this world.
I feel like
Well, it exists.
Oh, it probably exists.
Well, we don't know that.
I mean, I think the term like radiating light existed before
Radiant.
we discovered radioactive things. Like it's from
radiant
light.
damage.
So yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, so maybe there is some residual magic or effects hanging off of us, and the people that we deal with might inherit some abilities. I hope this doesn't rub off literally on the blackmailer himself.
Why are you going on about this magic stuff still? Like, put the bottle down, Lotion.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot. You have no idea about magic. And he didn't see Benjamin Sell create the shield of light.
No, he did not.
He also never saw all the zombies or anything like that too. Like
He didn't see me
It
cast
makes
the
me so
cantrip.
happy.
He didn't see me blast him with that the guiding bolt. He didn't see any of this. Wow, well done. This is good. All right.
Yep.
Well, I don't even know what to say to that. That's infuriating.
Really good.
Half of it's blind luck, half of it is metagaming the shit out of do not let my character see this.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how I'm going to react when he does.
Okay.
Still working that out.
Shun, how long of a journey is it to the Frisky Peaks from here?
To the actual mountain range, you're on the edge of it. But to actually get up inside the mountains to the area you're going for, mountain terrain is
Slow.
difficult terrain to say the least. It's going to be slow going. It's going to be difficult. There's going to be a lot of switchbacks. A couple days at least.
Yeah, so like we're right on the edge of the mountain range. So like we're not that far away, but like
Edging on them Frisky Peaks.
Edging those Frisky Peaks.
you're such a child.
No, that wasn't Lotion.
But yeah, I mean, you know, like you guys aren't really used to the mountains, and I mean, even me, like it takes a bit of time. You know, you gotta be able to traverse probably a few days trip.
I'm just trying to think of how many days we can get away with before the blackmailer expects us.
Well, he never actually said when he wanted this resolved.
True.
Yeah, like for
He
all
just
he
said
knows,
to-
we could still be working on it.
Why don't you give me an intelligence check? Y'all.
Oh, very good. That is a 17.
13.
It's an 18.
With the 17 and an 18, you're a couple days ride north to the town of Wacombe. Does one know how long it takes to solve an issue? You were only there for one overnight. I mean, theoretically, you feel like you've probably juiced a little time out of it before anyone's the wiser, before anyone comes looking. With the caveat of, you know that this is a person who somehow knows about your families, your friends, your connections. If there's some sort of observation going on you, you would have 0 time, and it's just a gamble you got to take.
I think this would be a gamble that I would rather want to take. I want to figure out what is going on here, and I want to know how this idiot is able to have all this information on us.
I have no problem with it, for the only person at risk is me. But Shun, you have
Well, yeah, I mean,
little
kind
ones.
of like, I'm like 15, dude. Like, I don't have any children.
I heard the blackmailer talk about.
My parents.
Oh, those are your parents.
Look, just because they're shorter than you doesn't mean they're little ones.
A gnome
That's
walks by and is like, hello, I'm 200 years old. So he keeps walking.
I apologize for my ignorance. He said being afraid of the dark, so I assumed that those were children. So those are your parents?
To clarify, he said we should make them fear the dark. Or give them reason to fear the dark.
Okay. I see now. Your family's at risk. Are
Yeah.
you okay going in a few days late?
I don't know. I feel like this guy's always like a few steps ahead of us. So like, I don't know if it's really that fair to call him an idiot, Alacordia. Like he kind of killed your friend. So I mean,
I think that's a touchy subject. I'm not sure if Alacordia wants to talk about
no,
it.
I get that. But you know, like he's kind of like been a few steps
As
ahead
I
of
look
us.
at Alacordia
this
and
whole
she's just
time.
daggers coming out of her eyes.
Exactly.
Well, look,
in
it's
her
not,
hand.
look, it's not like I brought up her dad this time or her fingers. Like, look, I just
She fumes. She just walks over to the
shouldn't
horse.
say this 2 feet away from Alicoria.
She walks over to the horse, hops up on it. Are we going to go or what?
Yes, but very quick. We might want something to, what's the term?
Eat?
Capitulate? Is that it? What's capitulate mean?
Surrender.
No, not capitulate.
Corroborate?
No, not maybe.
Like
If
an
there's-
alibi.
Not an alibi.
Constantinate.
An excuse.
Costanza.
Costanza.
If we go to the dig site and if there's anything else there that we can take with us to give to him as an offering.
Placate.
Placate, thank you. To placate him, that could work. If not, we will definitely need an alibi of some sort.
How the fuck should he know how long it would take to figure out some type of
I agree.
law enforcement issue?
I agree.
If he wanted to have spies sent out and whatever, I don't care. I'm tired of this guy. I don't like him. I already have enough problems being in the Denny Sabur. This is the least of my issues. Let's go and figure this out and leave.
Why don't we just tell him that, like, the Shire Reef told us that we should go check it out, and it was, like, on his orders kind of thing. It kind of throws him under the bus, but, like, you know.
Because part of me thinks that the blackmailer wanted the Shire Reef dead.
Yeah, but, like, he could have told us that, so, like, it's kind of on him.
It's true. I agree. But
It never goes well when you tell him that, but, like, you
we
know.
could just say we got lost.
Yeah, I guess we're going then, hey?
Regardless, we're going to the dig site. All right, Shun. Does he have a little pony or a full-size horse?
He's got like the Budweiser draft
I
horse.
was gonna say he's got a giant like Shire horse, work horse. That's his legs are like split, but he's a monk, so he can do it.
Like Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yes, exactly.
And Time Cop.
Doing the splits between the two semis, but it's two Clydesdales. That's up to Shun.
Okay. And Lojan's horse is still drunk from the
cocaine.
the
super cocaine or
what the
whatever.
fuck was it?
Super
The moonshine. The moonshine that I
Right.
good, yeah.
The horse like lightly jiggles as the barrel would.
The horse has been digging at the ground like this, but it's dug a hole 8 feet deep.
It's like
worn clean through its horseshoe.
Horsey needs a fucking hit. Horsey needs a hit, baby.
What do you do?
Lead the way, Shun.
Head south towards the dig site, or at least as close to as where we remember the dig site stating it was,
Yes.
because we never actually knew where it was. We just knew it was within the Frisky Peaks, and that, by inference, that there would be some type of dig or some type of well-worn path leading to it.
I suggest we stay off the main paths and main roads to avoid being spotted by possible spies.
Brigands!
I mean spies of the blackmailer, but yes, as well as thieves and brigands.
Shun doesn't do this, but hold up.
Shun's like, on
Wait.
the four-way, please.
He just has like he's got four-way blinkers on his horse, like blink, 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 blink,
This is
blink.
the airport.
No, not that.
He's got a sound system that's just blasting music.
Doesn't do this, but like on the horse, and he's like, yeah.
It's like clop, 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 clop.
Anywho, we head off.
You make your way deeper
Would you
into
like
the mountains.
rolls?
And you start to come across kind of much more like rocky outcrops and jutting butts and B-U-T-D-E-S. And there are several kind of paths through the mountains. Give me a survival check, please.
Who, him or just all of us?
You said Shun was leading you because he
Yeah.
knows kind of the mountainous terrain.
That is a 14. Sorry, 13.
You have a general knowledge of where you think the dig site is, and there are several switchbacks. You don't know which path, but you kind of pick out a way that you think will kind of take you through the mountains in the direction you're hoping for. And you kind of scale your way up the side of a mountain. It's really slow and it's really hard going. But you kind of get to a point where you're high enough up that there's a rocky outcrop that kind of sits at the height of like over a great precipice, and you can see a mountain range kind of unfurling out in front of you. and you've gotten high enough up that you can kind of see the tips of mountains, and you notice with a 13, there's just one area where there's no mountains. Like you can tell there's like behind and in and around, but there's almost like a lowland area inside the mountain range.
Yeah, guys, so like I know what mountains look like, and like that spot over there is not a mountain.
You are probably the most observant.
If this were a traveling montage and we're going up all these switchbacks,
It is.
Oh, and like, is it still daytime? Is the sun high? Is it hot? Is it cloudy? Is it raining? Is it all the above?
I'd say we've gotten to like the second night, we'll call it. So like the sun is setting as you've made your way up high enough on the mountain to have this rocky outcrop where you can see the tops of mountains.
Well,
okay. During this montage, at one point, Lojan pulls out his wine bag, and he's and it's squeezing it, and it's bone dry. And he's like, oh no. And he starts pulling at his collar. Oh, God.
Does anyone else find this mountain to be very hot?
Yeah.
And, like everyone's wearing winter jackets and Lojan's sweating.
Hands shaking.
Yeah, Lojan, don't forget about the barrel of beer that you caught from the Shire Reeve. No, from the Alderman.
That was gone yesterday.
Yeah, we're looking. It's like this Hansel and Gretel trail of like empty bottles leading back to the town. It's like, oh,
I thought we were trying to do this.
You made it
subtly.
like 40
I was
minutes
gonna say,
outside the city.
we didn't even make it a half mile. Like, you can see every can before we're gone. It's like, shouldn't you spread those out? I'm working on it.
You make it to this rocky outcrop, and it's a perfect place to camp for the night. And kind of the scene changes as everyone kind of cuddles up into their, their sleeping rolls, and
they are not cuddling.
As like owls
Never
and shit, nighttime noises.
Owls and shit.
Yeah.
just about to drift off, and we hear.
It's Lojan's withdrawal symptoms.
I was gonna say Lojan he's pale, and his eyes are like there's purple bags around his eyes, and he's getting a little bit of the shakes because he's oh fuck. Oh, I mean, I didn't think I drank too much, but anyone got any Alicordia? Do you have any alcohol?
No.
Shouldn't do like
You're the only one that drinks. I drink your wine.
a medicine or survival check to like find stuff to put together, like a little like tea kind of thing to help soothe Lojan's withdrawal.
Clark and I had the same idea. He's gonna like find some berries
And ferment them into alcohol.
No.
Yeah, absolutely, you could.
17.
You're able to make like a tea using some herbs that you find in the woods, and as Lojan's sipping it, and you can hear like he's got a porcelain teacup somehow, and it's like clink, 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 clink.
They're actually psychedelic mushrooms that you've found.
And you're just microdosing him.
And his eyes.
And Shun, you lay down for the night, and you close your eyes, and suddenly we're in a village. A very familiar village. You see halflings kind of mulling about. You see your parents. They smile and wave to you.
What are your parents' names?
Yeah, Shun's parents' names are Lily and Gaius. And, they're very supportive. Shun, very nice people. Much more friendly and amicable than Shun is. Gaius is a bit of a hard father on Shun. He, very much like, get training, be a better ninja. But Shun's been bringing some money recently to the village, so Gaius has been pretty proud of him, actually. But always remember Shun's old childhood friend Kuzo, who, that was a real ninja. That guy, he's real good, but he left the village for some reason. No one's really sure why he decided to leave, but he just did.
Kuzo?
Kuzo.
Ah, yes. The poison for Kuzo.
Like
Kuzo's poison.
The llama?
That was Cusco.
Cusco.
Describe what a Shun dream panorama kind of looks like. Like, what's a standard night for him before he wakes up? Do you think about training, being in ninja school? Do you think about a young lady, perhaps, that you have a sweet eye for?
Well, Shun would probably be every night that he goes to bed. He's probably a little bit feeling guilty, honestly, about, as you guys have seen, he's been stealing some stuff that he has not told the party about. And,
no, we've never seen him steal anything.
As
no.
you, Rod, and Clark.
You,
have
Rod,
seen.
and Clark.
Actually, no.
Us around the table.
He stole that one artifact in the event.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
The chalice.
The cup of cum.
And,
The
And also
bucket of gum.
Reginald's
now on sale.
register.
he also has a
And
tome.
his sketching of his
Right.
him
right.
at the fair with a lolly. Yep.
But yeah, so he probably, goes to bed feeling pretty guilty about, he's stealing stuff to bring in money for his village currently. That's how he's making the money.
Oh.
And he's
okay.
mostly, I'll give you this too for exposition. He's stealing most of these artifacts from old churches because, people aren't really paying attention there. And that's a little bit where his curse is coming from here. On his halfling luck.
Okay.
So we see a village, and all of the edge of your kind of vision is like kind of a red, almost like the way the sky lights before a storm rolls in. So there's just like this constant haze of unease around the edges of your vision. But everything that you remember your family, your friends doing seems very normal. And in the center of town, like hanging in the sky, because this is how dreams work, you just see a coin kind of spinning and flipping and flipping. And you don't know where it's going to land, heads or tails. And it's kind of like just hauntingly kind of present in your mind at all times. And you see a crowd is kind of gathered in the center of town. And you can hear them going like, ooh, ah. What do you do?
Shun would probably look up and feel a little bit uneasy, and he would probably just kind of avoid it and walk away and go train.
So you ignore the crowd gathered in the center of town and you leave in a different direction.
Because he feels uncomfortable with it, yes.
Okay. So as the village kind of gathers around, you walk, and as the dream...
I know it's not what you want, Scott. I'm sorry.
I don't care.
It's like the crowd runs after
do
you.
The dreamscape kind of shifts, and every step takes you like way further than it could physically, and like your clothes kind of keep shifting and changing depending on your feelings as you walk along. At one moment you're in your gi.
Walk along that lonely road.
Yeah. As the scene kind of resolves, all of a sudden you're in your dojo, and your master is there, and a very familiar looking rival is there, and he looks much younger, and he looks at you and he puts his hands on his hips, and he looks far too pretentious for a child of his age, and he says, "I'm gonna be the best." And then he turns his head slowly and he makes eye contact with you. "Or I would have been." And then he disappears in a puff of smoke as Kuzo leaves your dreamscape. And you're just standing there with your sensei.
Sensei Baji.
Your sensei looks at you in the eyes and he goes, "How old am I?"
Who's your daddy?
No, I could have sworn he was younger than that.
As he slowly becomes younger in the dreamscape. Sure. I am an appropriate age now. Your
I'd say
mind is
so.
playing tricks on you. Focus. Shun, this is important. I'm using the dreamscape to communicate to you. You must remember. And then you wake up. You wake up in a cold sweat and there's a weight in your pocket.
Is it a coin?
Yeah. And the coin is currently flips to a picture that you don't like. This isn't a coin you recognize. It's not the standard kind of currency that you've seen before. It's an image of a skull.
Oh. What's on the other side?
The skull both sides, two-sided, two-headed coin.
Don't like that.
And you look, and Lojan is sitting around the fire, shivering softly to himself, not sleeping at all. And you feel like whatever tumultuous thing is happening in your dream, whatever feeling your emotions are trying to tell you, you're not ready to hear it yet, and you don't feel like maybe you're going to go back to sleep. So you get up and you kind of go sit next to Lojan at the fire, and you look over at Alicordia, fitfully kind of sleeping. There's Alicordia. All around you, darkness, smoke. a thick fog has rolled in, and you just hear a voice.
Hello.
As you're like,
She wakes up in a cold
by
sweat.
60-foot tall Pietro Garda, and you wake up and you're sweating and you're terrified.
My God.
And you also feel like maybe sleep won't come easy tonight, and you go and you gather by the fire with your two compatriots.
I'm sorry. I feel like I ruined where you were planning to take that.
You did, but I improvised.
Meta? Do Clark and Steven have we heard the voice in Alacordi's dream before?
No.
Pietro Garda?
No.
The first voice.
The first
what you were
one.
going for.
Oh, that was just
when you
me
were trying to
do
bring
a
backstory
creepy
into
Pietro
it.
Garda.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I just
okay.
needed a reason for Alacordia to also be awake.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought you
Yeah.
were going into like backstory for her too, and I was
No,
like,
it was me
No.
trying to do my best scary, weird Swedish voice.
So she wakes up, she rolls over, and she sees a low crackling fire, and it sort of staving off the darkness. And she rolls over and puts her cloak about her shoulders and wanders over the fire and sits down and pulls a stick and starts poking the fire too.
so you couldn't sleep either, hey?
No. Too much going on in my brain.
Lojan's curled up in his sleeping roll.
You're just lying on your side, fetal
Yeah,
position.
exactly.
Lojan, are you going to be okay?
Yes, I'll be fine.
Shun, why are you here?
Like we kind of talked about, like we're all gonna go to the. I couldn't
That's-
fall asleep
that's-
either. It's
That's
warmer
not
by the
that's,
fire.
That's not what I mean, Shun.
Over my shoulder, she meant why you're with us.
I thought you fell asleep.
I'm trying to, but good lord.
Well, like we're being blackmailed. So I mean, I don't want my family killed. You know.
But I understand why you won't want your family killed, but why are you here? What?
Like
What-
existentially,
No,
why are any of us here?
Why did you make it to Cuernos? What was in Cuernos that really drove you to come there?
I was just I was an escort for
like a male
Don't
escort.
shut the fuck up, Rod. See that smile curl around your lips. Yeah, I was just hired to bring a caravan to town with some people traveling. It's a really long journey, and you know, bandits, brigands,
I mean,
creatures. So like, I was just hired to bring it there.
you're
That's kind of what my town does. We like hire out.
but you're
Monks
pretty
and
young to
ninja.
be doing this.
No, I mean, you know, I'm like starting out. Like I'm still one of the younger ones, but like that's kind of what everyone in my village does. Starts to around this age, and a little bit younger is when you start training.
How old are you?
Shun's 15.
Yeah, that tracks. I mean, back in the Middle Ages, like there was like 8-year-old chimney sweeps.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, but it seems, I don't know. For me, I don't even like the prospect of traveling. Staying close to the city would be. I would do it. I wouldn't like being out here. It's too quiet. There's too many strange things out here that I just don't like. I don't understand how you can enjoy this.
I mean, there's so many less people. It's so much better.
People is what I need. It's how I can. The fact that there's no people out here is the thing that really disturbs me. I've never been anywhere else aside from Cuernos. Cuernos is large enough and has
Well, like
You know,
when
hundreds
you
of
get
people.
far enough, I mean, so my village is actually pretty close by to Krabenvanger, and you know, that's like a big port city. Like it's not like we're, you know, completely remote around nowhere. It's just, you know, you have to travel through the nowhere to get somewhere, and that's what we help people do.
That actually sounds surprisingly wise from somebody like you.
What about you? What's your story, huh? How come you're in Cuernos?
I grew up in Cuernos.
Well, I guess that tracks. That makes sense. And like, how did you get involved in a gang? Isn't that kind of, I don't know. That's just,
That's a little harder to try to get through. Let's just say I'm indebted. Roll perception.
Sure. Insight or perception?
Perception.
Lotion rolls over and is facing you guys, and he goes, I can't sleep with you talking, but this is really interesting. So I'm just going to lay here
13.
and look at you and listen.
Well, then you roll perception too, then.
20.
It's good.
Shun, you don't notice, but Lotion, you notice that while she's saying that she's indebted, her hand is casually going towards a small pouch on her hip and kind of grabbing it.
Why are you grabbing your pouch, girl?
What? No. She'll... It's called the squish pocket.
Yeah, women are always complaining about, why do women carry purses? They have a built-in purse.
Oh boy.
Squish box.
Or the squish mitten, if you will. With Lotion saying that, she quickly moves her hand away. She's like, it's actually the soul of my father.
That's your dad? I'm sorry.
She goes to throw a knife, but she's like, in essence, yes. There's two.
What?
I told you about O'Fleury Resac, the head of the Denny Sabur.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy you met in the carriage once, right?
Yeah. He has his second in command is Reggie the Knife. He killed my father. And he had some power about him where he held out his hand and he made this trinket. Then she opens up the pouch and pulls out the small wooden chickadee. It's an immaculately carved wooden chickadee. But this is the thing that ties me to the Sabur. I have his life debt.
But, like, what happens if you just leave? Like, you have this supposed soul.
They'll go after my mother.
That's not cool.
Lotion slowly sits up. Says, what's your mother's name, my dear?
As Alicordia checks her notes.
I didn't want to pronounce it wrong. Asla.
Asla. A lovely name.
And, like, is she in Quernos too?
No, I don't know where she is.
Oh.
Was she taken from you?
No.
Were you taken from her?
No.
Does the Denny Sabor have her in some... well, like
no one has her. She is...
Did they know where she is?
No.
Did she?
But
well,
they
then
will.
how's she in danger?
I'm curious about the hand.
Mm-hmm.
And some drifters just...
I thought that was Gibraltar.
It's just some hobo with a harmonica.
Don't mind me, I'm just riding the rails.
He's eating a boot.
Anyway, I best be leaving this scene, and he gets up and he walks into
And
the
Shun
woods.
just has a flashback to Father Boots and just sad for a second.
He's eating a hand. What? Finger food. Father Boots. Like I said, he's eating a boot, but he's... No. They'll be able to... Reggie the Knife has an uncanny ability. I don't know what it is. He was able to capture the soul of my father and turn it into this chickadee that is bonded to me.
So, like...
If I die, the life debt will transfer to my mother and they'll be able to find her. And if they find her, they will either indebt her or kill her.
That's terrible.
It's how they work.
I'm very sorry, Alicordia. Very sorry to hear that.
I just want to...
You don't need to be sorry.
I just want to put it out there. Shun doesn't say anything. He, being supportive as possible without saying anything. But he's an idiot. But he's not an idiot enough to think that this is a good time to be like, magic's not real, that's not your dad. That's what he believes in his mind. Of like,
But
this is all kind of bullshit.
If you want, you can probably roll insight on her feelings, or actually no, your empathic ideas.
Shun's like the emo teenager at a funeral who goes up to the mourning widow to be like, you know, there's no afterlife, right?
No, but I'm saying like, he does not say that.
Tell me how your like empathic ability works.
So, okay, the reason that Shun is empathic is because when we started off this whole thing, no magic, right? So one of Shun's race features is he can telepathically communicate with one creature within 30 feet of him. And because no magic, we kind of started that off as he's an empath. He can kind of, you know, get an idea of what others are thinking or like kind of impose his thoughts to others very easily. So as he gets a handle on his empathic abilities, it's going to be less empath can feel others and more of he can communicate telepathically. So at the moment, I think we're still kind of in that flux where like, yeah, he'd be a bit... I'm going to put it this way. Shun believes that Alacordia believes it to be true. Shun does not believe it to be true for a second because that's who Shun is as a character. But he knows that Alacordia believes it 100%, so he says nothing in this case because she's already tried to kill him enough times.
Yeah, good call. Good call. She does show you like the chickadee in her blackened hand, where she's also been. Reggie captured the soul of my father and turned it into this chickadee, and he did this to my hand.
Not like what'd he do to it?
Well, she takes off her glove, and it is completely black.
Oh my god!
For a guy who claims to have seen a bunch of like zombies and dead people come back to life, I mean that's really not something to freak out that much over. I don't think. It's just a skin condition, man. Like get over it.
I didn't like it. It was quite terrifying.
What did he do to it? I don't know, but it's been like this ever since he broke into my house and grabbed my hand.
Reggie the stabber?
The knife.
The knife. Sorry, the knife.
That's what he used to stab
Sorry, that was
her.
not a joke. That was me not...
Reggie the Ginsu? No, damn it. Reggie the cleaver? No. Reggie the safety scissors? God damn it.
You just see he's got various weapons and he's looking in the mirror like, Reggie the spear? No.
Reggie the teaspoon?
No.
I'm very sorry. So that's tragic, Alacordia. I know you probably don't care about apologies and sorries, but I am sorry.
Yeah, like if we can help your mom out, like we will.
I don't know where she is, and I don't want to know where she is. If anyone ever knew anything about her, where she is, it'd be
Well, I
the
guess if
worst
we
thing.
can help like you, then we'll help you.
Just don't do anything. All I want to do is figure out how I can either get higher in the Denny Sabur so I can take out Reggie the knife.
The kind of night continues on as you talk and open up a bit to your compatriots in a way you never have before. But then a hand extends from the woods with the hold on a second. And it's the homeless guy and he goes, sorry, I forgot my keys.
And after Alacordia, can we say that this interaction's been, say, an hour?
Yeah.
Okay. In this time, Shun has been casting a ritual quietly.
Has Shun been...
Lotion
Did I say Shun?
I don't think Shun
Yeah, you
has.
said Shun.
Lotion. Lotion. Did I say shy? I apologize.
Lotion de Cordia.
Lotion's full name is Lotion Decoria. Turns out that's why you guys are wrapped up in this, is because there was like a clerical error. Okay.
That's how a semicolon works.
Full stop. And I've been casting, as we're talking and opening up and
Zone of...
no. Fireball. Growing closer, I've cast the ritual of ceremony on you, and you specifically the Coming of Age, which I already cast on you, so you
Yeah.
can never get it again. But you can get it. So for the next 24 hours, you get a D4 on any and every check.
Put that little D4 there to remind me. Thank you.
And I say, I don't know about you two. I think we're all kind of in a similar boat. Being together makes us stronger than being three individuals.
As we awake the next day and looking out over a crisp, clear morning, you absolutely see the same thing you saw before. The hole
Guys,
in a
it
mountain
hasn't
range.
changed yet.
What? What hasn't changed yet?
You guys, it looks the same as yesterday. Sorry.
And because it's now daytime, you can see heat lines.
Shimmering.
Yeah, it's shimmering right over that area, as though
It's much warmer and the area is much cooler around the area.
Lotion is dipping a straight blade in a little puddle in the morning sun, and he is shaving off his permanent 5 o'clock shadow.
Lotion, I'm pretty sure that's Shun's pee puddle.
yeah,
I
it's
cast-
sterile.
I cast some sort of ritual on it to make it into holy water, and I just keep shaving. And you see, thanks to the tea,
Oh, please don't cut yourself.
and because
Roll for tennis.
You're the emo one. And because he's gone 12 hours without drinking, this is thank you. Whoa!
Take that
Hey.
inspiration.
Violent.
You guys see that he looks fresher, cleaner, and maybe for the first time ever, you realize how I was ever a priest. You can see.
Is he handsome Squidward?
No, I don't mean he's handsome. You just like suddenly like my
Like
act's back
stately
together.
kind of,
Yeah, and like
and-
suddenly it's like, oh, I see how this guy was actually in the church for such a long time.
Like composed and dignified. And
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I'm sober for now.
For now.
For now.
And as you're making your way through the mountains, it's tough going, and we see like a montage of cuts of like you guys climbing down off a rocky face to get to a new path, and then like a couple mountain goats making their way by, and
Okay, so if we left the horses somewhere,
I was
are we going on fit?
I was going to say, then Lotion looks over to his left, and there's a very nice, well-maintained path.
there's like a whole cart
with like
system
a
going up.
fence and like what's the thing that takes you up and down a mountain?
Gondola?
A gondola. No, at one point there's a scene where you have to abandon your horses because it's extremely hard to get in and out.
Everyone remember where we parked the horses.
And finally, you make it to the edge of a craterous valley. And you can see that all around the circumference of this almost perfect circle-looking desert that stretches further than your eyes can see. And there's enough changes in elevation that, there's whole parts where sand mounds high enough that you can't just see 100% into the valley despite the flatness of this disc. The edges of that's right. I took account. The edges of this crater are weirdly uniform. It almost looks like something has forced them out. Everyone make an intelligence check for me.
3.
Also 3.
19. Oh, did you add your D4? Not that it matters.
I did not. 4.
Wait, did you say 4?
Yeah.
You learn. Lotion, it reminds you a lot of something you saw once. A valley created by a volcano after a volcanic explosion happened. The uniformity of it looks like things were actually pushed back. And what you see is an endless expanse, not endless, obviously, but, of desert sands. There is this, 50 to 70 mile radius desert in the middle of a mountain range. And it's just as far as your eyes can resolve until you hit sandy kind of hills and plains. This expanse of death. where there's no life, no moisture, no nothing. The mountains around in every direction are too high for any kind of clouds to get over to bring moisture in. And over time, this is, the land has desiccated and dried and blown away, and all that's left is an expansive desert that you, Alacordia, and you, Losian, being from Vernos, did not know was there. Something has created an outward force to create basically a circular crater in the middle of a mountain range. It seems like some sort of anomaly of nature, and like the heat of the desert is kind of coming off of it. And one thing that you do see is actually a small caravan making its way towards the kind of one outcropping of the mountains where some sort of tectonic activity has created a passage into the desert.
Losian says, get down.
Everyone give me a perception check.
Don't forget your D4.
Right. That is a 15.
You see a halfling riding a camel, escorting a covered caravan with great difficulty, because it's obviously hard to get
Through sand.
through sand.
And it gets everywhere.
I don't get any of what this halfling looks like with a 14, do I?
I mean, you see, but you don't recognize anything.
Okay.
Okay, because Losian looks at Shun like, should you know who this is?
Well, I don't know, but I mean, I'm just escorting a caravan,
It is a long way away.
Day in the life.
Losian says, I don't know if we should be spotted. We want an alibi, not the opposite of an alibi. So when you say caravan, do you mean like a covered wagon, or do you mean that there's a bunch of people on a wagon?
A bunch of people on 2 covered wagons.
Okay.
In like a procession.
How far is it away? You said the caldera, basically, right? Caldera?
Yeah, it's in it's for sure.
It would be, you said it was like 50 miles wide, so it's
This
fairly
you're
wide.
looking at something about a mile maybe away from you. They're leaving the caldera of the crater. And you see, as this caravan is making its way forward, out of nowhere from the sands emerge 4 people, fully wrapped from head to toe in what look like cloth and linens. And you just watch as they start attacking the caravan. What do you do?
Yeah, we should probably help out those people.
Losian goes, oh my, I don't think we should go on the sand, but we need to help these people. We don't have our horses because, we left them up there. All right. I think we have to go save those people. We have to.
I don't think we need to.
From the sand people.
We have no idea how many other of these sand people are out there. We literally could be walking into a trap.
But maybe those people could help us if we help them. Maybe we could hop in the caravans and get where we're trying to go even more subtly. The longer we talk about this, the more people might die down there. You can stay here if you want, but I think Losian and I are going.
Come with us, Alacordia. We're stronger as a unit.
I'll give you cover. She'll pull out her bow, and then how far are they away again?
So they are 50 yards away.
Or 150
About
feet.
that, yeah.
Or 150 feet.
Okay.
Short bows have 320, 320.
So you have
So-
you have disadvantage above 80.
And you kind of have a higher vantage point because you're still up on the crest of this caldera.
All right, Losian.
Losian
Let's
and
go.
Shun rush in.
Alacordia will use a bonus action to hide.
Stealth check.
25.
Yeah. Oh.
Where'd she go?
We just see Alacordia and gone, invisible. The 2 of you run towards the caravan. Sure, now that you're closer, give me another check.
Not 20.
You see Kuzo
No!
punching random people in desert garb. And you see, he looks so cool while doing it. And there's not a bead of sweat on him. There's no dirt anywhere. He's wearing this, desert style, garbed outfit. But it's not a thwab. It's he designed it himself, but it looks so sharp. It looks so good. And he's just he's throwing kunai knives and people are dropping all around him. And every time they drop, they wiggle and they go back down into the sands and they disappear. And if he didn't make it look so cool, it'd almost be like funny. He seems to be holding his own, but you can see that they're grabbing things, crates from the back of these wagons. They're grabbing them and they're just like shimmying down into the sands and they're disappearing with them. And as the two of you get close, there's only 3 of these desert dwellers left. 1 crate remaining in one of the wagons. The rest of the covered tops have been pulled off. And Kuzo's just like, don't worry, I got this.
Oh, God.
And he's throwing kunai knives and he looks cool. What do you do?
Join the fight.
Roll initiative.
Lotion's like, oh, you've got this. Goodbye.